What's going on, guys? So I'm gonna do a new video today, and that is going to be on the Mazda 3. I am going to be replacing the brakes. Really quick, what I'm gonna do is lift the car, and then I am going to get started. Alright, so now that I have the car successfully lifted, I use the car stand that came with the car, and then just for a little bit extra support, I got my jack stand and I put it up too, just so it is definitely holding it up. So really quick, now what I'm going to do next is go ahead and remove the tire. Alright, so to remove the tire, you're going to want to use a 21mm socket to remove all the lug nuts. Now that I have the tire off, I'm going to go ahead and remove the caliper itself. Alright, so the next step is going to remove the dust cover here. To get to the bolt that is in here, there's one dust cover up here, and then there's the other one in the bottom. And for that, you can just use a flathead, and you're just going to carefully pop them off. So there's one, and then the other one, would be below. And then next, you're going to use the hex socket, and for that, it is going to be, if you can see, the size 7. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. I am going to need an extension. I will be right back. Alright, so I got my extension, which is fail number 1. I got a too long extension. I will be right back. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, so really quick, what I did is I turned the wheel to kind of give me a little bit more of an angle to work better on it. So now I'm going to remove the back one. Alright, now I got the other one. And then I will be right back. Alright, now that you have these screws removed, you want to take these pins off. And by that, just grab a flathead. Now be careful because they are spring loaded, so it could fly out. So you just want to be careful. There you go. Now you got that removed. Now the caliper should come off. Just like that. Now a lot of people will use like a bungee cord and hang it somewhere. I just grab like a bucket and just place it on top so it doesn't stress the brake hose. Now really quick, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show this in this video, I'm going to try and make another video, but I am since I'm replacing the brakes, I'm going to just I may not replace the rotors, but what I'm probably going to do instead is take them somewhere really quick to get resurfaced, just so I know that the rotor is in, you know, better condition than it is right now. So you may not need to you may not need to replace the rotor, but at least, you know, maybe since you're replacing the brakes, take them and get them resurfaced at least. And then when I make the other video on the rotors, I'll kind of talk a little bit more on how to tell if the rotors are in good condition or in kind of bad condition. Alright, so I was able to get the new, or not the new rotor, but I was able to get the rotor resurfaced, put that back on there. Now I'm going to take off this brake pad. If you can see, with this one, with the front, you just have to pull back and it'll come right off. Really quick, what I wanted to show you was, with a better view with the brake tool, is, watch. So here's the 4mm, and if you line it up with the brake pad, it's almost flush. So this actually probably would be maybe like a 5. Let's see. Yeah, about a 5. Which, I mean, like I said, you want to replace them at 3 to 4mm. So this is the old one here. Compared to the new one, I mean, just look at the difference on how much it has. I mean, this is going to have basically the 12. Yeah, like 10, 11 millimeters. So this is definitely how you want it to look. So now, before I put the new brake pad on, we are going to want to push the piston back in, so when we put it back, it'll fit easily. Now, there's the way to do that is you can either get this tool, which is the disc brake pad caliper toolkit. So it comes with different sizes for obviously different cars. So you have the one. You can either rent these at your local auto store or you can buy them. I don't recall how much it was, but they also sell this one here, which I think this one was like $15 or under. So this is the one that I'm going to use. Alright, so now to push the caliper, or I'm sorry, the piston back in, you're going to want to grab one of your old brake pads and just put it in front like that. And then you're going to grab your tool and kind of get it in. And then start tightening it. And let me see if I can get a different angle, so I can zoom in. So as you tie in, you'll see the piston going back in. And then you'll feel it like tying, so you know you've come to the max. Now, one thing that I do want to let you know, like I said earlier, my rear ones, those ones are fine, but the rear ones are going to be a little bit different. You will need the actual tool kit to push the piston back in, because with this one, it has two, let me show you. You're gonna have to find the right size, because with the back, it has these two like pins that you need to put in, you need to put into the piston, because the back piston rotates. So as it rotates, it's pushing it in at the same time. This one, it's literally just being pushed in. So now I'm going to continue the rest. All right, so now that the piston is pushed in, all you want to do is grab your new brake pad, and then you're going to push this in from the back. You may need to squeeze the pins so you can kind of get it started. There you go. So now that one is in. All right, now all you want to do is you want to if it doesn't come with it, you can always buy it. Just grab some lubrication, and then you're going to apply it. There's a few places. You're going to apply it on the hinges, like right here. So when the brake is being pushed, it doesn't like make any noise. And you're gonna do it on the other brake pad as well. And then I'll show you where else you're gonna do it. Let me just do this really quick, and I'll be right back. All right, so once you apply the lubrication on both ends, then you're going to want to just reapply the caliper. And then just re-put the screws back on. Now before you put the screw back in to the caliper, you also do want to apply some lubrication on these as well. Reason being is because these will actually slide back and forth from the caliper. So once you have it, you can just re-line it and then start putting everything back together. I also did clean these with some brake fluid, just to get any like dust or any like just dirt off. And then you just put that lubrication back and then start putting everything back. Let me put these back and I'll be right back. All right, and then once you finally tighten everything down, go ahead and put the dust covers back on to cover it all up. Alright, so last step before we put the wheel back on is you want to put the clip spring back in. These are going to go in front of the caliper mount. So you want to put the first one in the hole And then just bring this one back. You may struggle a little, so you may need to put some force in. There. And then just make sure they pop in, and you'll kind of hear it. Alright, so the last step is going to be to put the wheel back on. Alright, once you get the lug nuts back on, the final step is you're going to lower the car completely, and that way the car is putting all the pressure on the tire. And you want to torque them down to, I'm going to do it at 90. So what I'm going to do, when it's lifted, you want to tighten the lug nuts by hand as much as you can. And then maybe use a wrench. And then once you tighten them pretty tight, you want to lower it, and then you're going to torque it. So like I said, about 90, and if you use a torque, you'll hear it click. There you go. And you're going to do a star pattern. So I did this one. Going to move to the next. Done. Next one. Done. Next one. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Done. And that is how you change your brakes. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was somewhat helpful. I'm going to try and link in the description everything that I used, all the tools, kind of the order you want to do it, do everything in. And if you are interested in that brake tester, if you just go like on eBay or Amazon, I think I got mine at eBay, but just type in brake tester tool. And I think it's like only 15 bucks, so it's not too bad. But yeah, if this video was helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.